Ready for the video?
Hell yeah.
Awesome, let's do it.
Yeah.
I've heard that too. Have you heard that before, that line?
Love thy neighbor like you love yourself. And it can really save someone's life. I agree.
Me too.
Next moment somebody is there.
Lamb!
Okay.
Loving means what?
I was just joking. I was like, but I can't. We're just getting sick of each other? No, I don't know. It's like this person isn't for me, but I can love them to the ends of the earth, you know?
Present practice. What's conscious? This is Vish and
Ellie.
And today we'll be responding to Sadhguru's video on
Why did Jesus say, love thy neighbor?
I'm an aspiring yogi and I've been meditating for over 4 years now. Love all things meditation, wisdom, and yoga based. And I'm super grateful to have Ellie on the show. Want to introduce yourself?
Yes, hello, my name is Ellie. I grew up in a very strict religious church. Let's get into the video.
One who is next to you right now is your neighbor.
I love the cosmos. Oh, that's very easy. If you have to just love one being, it costs life.
I've heard that too. Have you heard that before, that line?
Love thy neighbor like you love yourself.
Somebody who lives next door. Whatever is right next to you right now, one who is next to you right now is your neighbor. If Jesus had said, love somebody who is in the other side of the planet, they would have loved them. Going easy. Your neighbor, he is not good. Isn't it? This moment, whoever is next to you, if you learn to love him, you will become loving by your own nature, isn't it? Yes? Because this moment this person is there, another moment another person is there, next moment
agree.
an insect is there.
Me too.
Next moment somebody is there. If you just learn to love anything that is next to you right now,
Cute. Is that a… what is that?
nature will become loving.
Okay.
Loving means what? On the level of the emotion, a certain level of inclusiveness, isn't it? Love your neighbor is not easy. It needs transformation, isn't it? Something about you has to change to love your neighbor. To love God, you don't have to change anything. You can bullshit yourself completely. You can bullshit the whole world and still love God.
This is just like these days, it's become a fad
That's a powerful line.
everywhere. Especially I find the New Age spirituality in the West has taken on this. Oh, I love humanity. I love the cosmos. Oh, that's very easy. You don't have to love anybody. If you have to love one individual, it costs life. If you have to just love one being, it costs life, isn't it? I love the whole cosmos, but I can't stand the person who's sitting next to me right now. That's a different thing.
I was just joking. I
This
was
is
like,
just
but I can't.
bullshit. Too much of it. Yes. I love the whole humanity. Where did you see the whole damn humanity? To love them? No, I just love. Yes, that's very easy. Just try to love one person and see what it costs. So much of you have to put it on the ground. So much of you have to surrender. If you
Wow, so far I'm really connecting with a lot of what he's saying, and I love how he connected the love thy neighbor with not just your literal house neighbor, but in this case, I guess, who's next to you. What are you thinking so far after what he shared?
I think that anywhere you go in the world, in your own backyard, whether you're traveling across Europe, I think that everybody deserves to be treated with the same amount of kindness.
I agree. He actually has a very powerful line, which is that you should never look up to someone or never look down to someone. Always look at people at their eye level. And so, have you heard that, or do you think that makes sense?
Absolutely.
Well, let's get back into it.
have to love just one person, isn't it? Yes. but I love the whole humanity. This is easy. Someone said, love the neighbor. That's very significant, very significant. Oh, let me check who is my neighbor. That's not the point. Whoever is next to you right now, whatever is in touch with you right now, just to love it indiscriminately. The very air that you breathe, neighbor? Yes? Is it your neighbor?
Yes.
The water that you drink, neighbor? Sitting here, right? Is your neighbor? The land that you walk on, is he your neighbor? Just to know that, whatever is in touch with you right now. Now, this is something else, it costs life. Otherwise it won't happen.
So Ellie, what are your thoughts after watching this very interesting topic video as well?
My thoughts on the video are probably like, I think that we should also find, and agreeing with what he said, is finding love not just within people. We can find love in like many other things, like whether you're going, to a park or something with someone you love, like you can have love in that moment and you can remember it as being a loving moment. You can, I don't think we ever truly understand ourselves, what other people are going through, and so just offering kind words to anybody, like even in your own city, and just, hey, like you're loved. You can hand them a note, you don't have to say it, and it can really save someone's life in a sense. So I think that love conquers all, and there's no dimensions to love.
That was awesome. I appreciate that really kind of just insightful, advice for the viewers. I think I'm sure they'll love and appreciate that. And I'm curious, do you think love is an act or it's a quality?
I think that everybody has love and shows love in different ways.
It's kind of both?
Yes, and I think that, like what someone else is trying to do and saying, like, I'm trying to love you, is like that could be their 100, like that could be their 100 in the moment. And so I think that we sometimes don't connect with all aspects of love, like within us. And some need more, some are like, whoa. But I just feel that love is love at the end of the day. Like you can do whatever you want, be with whoever you want, love whoever you want. I just think love is love.
Definitely. Love, who or what doesn't matter, right? And I definitely agree. In fact, Sadhguru talks about this. It's the idea that love is actually not an act, but it's a quality, and it's something that you need to embody. And we all tend to think, especially I think in this logical mind-dominated society, where it's a very transactional game where I show you love in this way, and then you must show me love in that way, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like a never-ending cycle, which just leads to all the problems. And I think, it kind of speaks to one of the current problems in America, which I could be wrong on the exact stats, but I think roughly, they say 50% of marriages end in divorces in America, which it's a huge number. And I definitely think, especially with the relationships, and especially, again, the westernization, this whole, let's call it technology-driven society that we live in is just so logically oriented, and that leaves no room for something like love, right? Which is more emotional. What do you think?
I agree with that, and like you said about the marriage thing, I think that you can still love somebody and just not be able to be together. You can just realize that, it's like this person isn't for me, but I can love them to the ends of the earth, So I feel like that's not really why marriages are ending. Maybe they're just getting sick of each other. No, I don't know. But I just think that, like, when you love and you embrace love and you embrace it in your heart, you try to understand, like, you know, this person might have done that because, you know, they were in a really bad mental space and, you know, they weren't very calm. Their anxiety, they were in pain. They just might have not been having the best day. And it doesn't define how much you love. It just means, like, in that moment, they just weren't feeling it.
That is, again, excellent advice, Ellie. Thank you so much for sharing that. And just to tie this all and connect it back to kind of Sadhguru, as well as what he was talking about with, you know, that line, love thy neighbor, I definitely love it because, at least the interpretation I have after, you know, watching this video, it's not literally just your neighbor, right? I mean, who's living next to you. I think it's more of like a what's the word, metaphor. And I think it's a metaphor, as he says, not just loving who's next to you, right, physically as a person, but loving everything, right? So even the floor that you're walking on, the air that you're breathing.
And being very thankful and grateful.
Yes, thankful and grateful. She knows that gratitude is a very powerful thing. And I think when you start appreciating and just realizing how, first off, essential everything is around us, then you will naturally start loving it, and you won't see that difference. It's, you know, the part of the mind that, not even the part of the mind per se, but it's the mind that likes to make distinctions and break things apart and see colors and see races and see religion and see this and that. And it's important to realize that those are just mind-created things. And so let go of the mind. Not that the mind is a bad thing, but it's a tool which is great, but shouldn't be used everywhere. And yeah, lastly, just to love everything. And I will say this too, because I think this is important. As he was saying, I think love itself gets thrown out so often that I think it almost kind of loses its value. And the reason I say that is because saying that you love someone or something versus actually having love are two different things. Would you agree?
I think that the word love is very overused, and I think that like a 4-letter word should not be, like, it shouldn't be 4 letters.
Should be more letters?
Yes, like I think.
How many letters?
A million. But I just think that, like, in the world, that especially today, where it's just like conflict with this, and if you're, you know, believe in this, then it's bad, and blah, blah, and it's just like, live your life. Like, just live your life. Like, why are you so concerned with what everybody else is doing when you're like, well, I don't like that person? You should be like, you know what? I'm really loving this day. Like, you know what? That's all that matters. I'm loving the day. I'm loving the clouds. I'm loving the rain. If you're loving the rain, I don't know. I kind of like the rain.
She is from Washington. But no, that was great. And I agree with that. I mean, as Sadhguru actually says, and you also mentioned you are, you know, very spiritual yourself. He says that 80% of your spiritual progress can be achieved just by letting go of your dislikes and your likes. So stop saying, I like this, I like that, I dislike this, I dislike that. Let it go. And that will...
I actually tried to eliminate hate as much as possible in my vocabulary. I will say hate. I'm not perfect, okay? But I try to, like, eliminate that when talking about people or, you know, about certain things, which I feel is very... like good feeling, because you're like,
absolutely,
I don't have to hate.
Yeah,
Why?
no, I agree. There's, I mean, no need for it. And I also love the way you're giving the importance to words. I think words are actually, I wouldn't say important per se, I think they're significant, right? So by training yourself to, let's just say, refrain from certain words and focus on other words, I think that really does have an effect on your subconscious mind, right? So thank you for sharing that, Ellie. Would love to hear what you all think about what we've talked about love. Do you think it's a real thing? Do you think it's not real? What about your thoughts on that line, love thy neighbor? What does it mean to you? You can comment down below. And Ellie, thank you for being here. Remind them again, where can they find you?
On Instagram, Ellie Rain with 2 E's.
All of our stuff will be down below. If you have any other video reaction requests or personality types you want on the show, you can also comment down below. And with that, make a great day, take it joyful, and stay conscious. Awesome job, Ellie.
Thank you.
You did great.
You too.
Awesome.